me about this property.
Let's get on to this property. So yeah, I saw your email saying that basically just comp for the main house. Don't bother with the ADUs.
Yeah, because let's start there. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna grab this address. As I've told you in the past, I always start with Privy when I'm doing my comping. Right, it's the best tool
Is
that
that
I'm aware of.
is it a paid service?
It is a paid service, but
Okay.
it's worth every penny of it. I can tell you that much for sure. So, we'll just go straight to the comping part of it. I mean, I would look at more, but just to kind of get a jump start on comping. So here you are, 450, right? There's really nothing, looks like investor
Okay.
wise, in the same neighborhood. Everything's over because this looks like a major
Yeah,
roadway. So I would not really want to count these, but if they're the closest and best ones, then maybe they are, right? But I would also look at, oh wow, there's nothing even sold on the market. So the only thing that's selling in this area are investor properties. Interesting. And look how far away they are, over half a mile each. But you can see is not uncommon to have multiple units in that area, so that's a plus.
Okay.
What's concerning to me is this property right here, because it sold in September, which wasn't that long ago, right? A little bit older, about the same lot size, 3 garages, 1 level, 3 units at $315.
Let's
They're
look at it.
they're asking for 450, and I'm like, I doubt in 3 months or 2 months the market has gone up. And look at, I can almost, just by looking at it already, I can tell you this is probably in better shape than that one that we were looking at.
It does look in much better shape. Yeah.
Well, this was not showing me the inside. I want the inside. So let's.
I do think the other property has 2 more bedrooms and at least 1 more bathroom
Oops, I should have.
compared to this White House.
And it's only 5 pictures. Darn it. Wonder what Realtor has. One thing I like about Realtor.com is they usually have good
More
number.
photos.
Even if they're older. See, it says just sold, but when was it just sold? Now that's piquing my curiosity.
I thought it said it was sold in September. Yeah.
Look, yeah, sold in September. You're saying it's on the market again?
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
All
was
right.
saying
This
that
is the comp, not the primary or the residence that we're looking at buying. Okay.
right, yeah, this is the comp and this has 2 less bedrooms and 1 less bathroom. At my current understanding of what the other property has.
So this is counting 6 bedrooms, 4 bath. What is this counting?
3 units. Okay, so
2 bedroom and 1 bedroom. Right to a separate studio, so there's not even a bedroom and there's a studio apartment. So it was at 3, call it 3-2 or 3. So 4-3 compared to a 6-2, so that's what, 2 bedrooms and an extra bathroom, maybe. Let's say. But I mean, I think they're calling this an apartment.
The White House?
Yeah, this one here. Where do you go?
Oh, the brown one.
This one.
I thought that was the garage that he was saying had potential to be an ADU.
Over here. The rear unit has 2 bedroom and bath. Approximately the back unit has 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So 3 units. And then there's a 2 and 3 car garage with a great potential for an ADU. That only looks like
I wouldn't say it has great potential, but I I mean, looking at it, I mean, I don't know that that would pass any kind of code. Even with like some repairs, I feel like it would be a pretty big project to turn that garage into an ADU. I mean, but we could, but I think even if we did, it wouldn't increase the value enough to be worth it.
so. In here, all I see is flooring and paint that would need to be done, right? Do you agree?
They might need new windows.
Well, I mean, just that's possible too, but definitely flooring.
New kitchen and bathrooms.
Yeah, new kitchen, new appliances. I mean, look at all this, what looks like black mold right here.
Mm-hmm. That's nasty.
That's even worse.
Is that mold?
I would guess that it's mold, yes. I couldn't tell you for sure. I mean, there's just
Right. I was looking at that and I'm all like, were they like frying a turkey in there and it exploded? Or like, oh, I can't even tell what that is.
if this was a garage, it's not a garage anymore because I mean, it looks like it's walled off with wood, so you can't even call it a bedroom. I don't even know if this car is even operational.
It's not. VW bugs their engines in the back and there's nothing
Right.
back there. So I can tell you that shit does not run
No.
unless you're running behind it.
The two units that he was talking about, right? As far as you can tell, they have animals. This one looks like it's probably could be a huge one. That's their water bowl.
Yeah. God.
What is this?
I feel bad for that's probably the 1 bed, 1 bath.
All right, so at the main house, this one over here is unit 2. This is unit 3. So that walled off garage is exactly that.
Yep.
Exterior washer and dryer. That I don't even like that idea.
I don't either.
I would probably want to budget to either
Move
find a
that
way to bring these
inside.
in the house or find a way to make it where it's weatherproof so people can use it no matter what's going on.
Right. Like that could go in the garage if it's a safe area.
Yeah.
Which it probably isn't by the looks of the
I
rest of this place.
mean, these guys look at all this debris, right? So you're definitely going to need probably 2 or 3 skids for a dumpster to clean this up. So right off the bat,
It's worth like 120.
well, I'll start off with it's not 450, right? I mean,
No.
unfortunately, we can't see what's inside this house, so we don't know what it looks like. Um,
I wonder.
says TLC, which basically means there's some work that needs to be done. But even still, let's just say it's in similar condition, right? Not top of the market, just similar condition. That's $315. I mean, you could probably add maybe another 25 if you wanted to for 2 bedrooms and a bath. That's more for the other property since this one has 6'4". And those are just estimated. I don't know what an appraiser would do. So
It's
I'm walking
for
back what I said earlier, just so you know, right?
yeah.
Because now we're comparing apples to apples.
Mm-hmm.
Because this one has 3 units on it, and so
And
does
that
this.
one, yeah. What are the three? Can you scroll down so I can look at how it explains what the units are? Okay. I don't know. Back up a little. Okay. First house, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, a studio, and then a 1 bedroom, 1 bath on top of
The
a
garage.
garage.
Yeah, so we come back
Okay.
here.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is pretty similar as far as what's
And so
around.
here's the other. Here's a stair to the other unit.
Yeah.
But you're talking. I mean, just lot. You can see that it's a little bit better. You won't have to spend as much for the debris around it. You know what I mean? The trash
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of, hopefully. And it looks like this has its own parking, and this unit has its own parking.
And then yeah, for this other one, it kind of looks like you just park wherever in the yard.
I would say this right here is a dirt. Could be potentially.
There's parking on the other side.
This one here.
Well, I thought,
Right
okay,
here, you
so
mean?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, that could be a carport right there. I just couldn't tell if it was this property's or the neighbor's.
Oh, you know what? Good point. I think you're right because of how that gate is right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. If that was their parking, it wouldn't be like that. Their parking's on the other
I
side.
wonder if we do this.
See, even little moments like that. You just taught me another thing. Thank
I'm
you.
glad I can. You know what? I might need to do caster. Let's do maps. It's not going to give you street view, is it? Only bad thing about using this is I don't get my Google Street View.
That is a plus about Zillow. And there isn't much I like about Zillow.
All right. Oh, that's Elm Street. I want Cedar Ave. That's the one I want. So that what we saw does belong to the neighbor.
Okay.
So it looks like they have street parking. I don't know what that is.
Church?
Stupid thing is.
Yep.
Sonic Lodge. No, it's a lodge. It's like the Masons. Hold on a second. It is.
Wonder.
So it doesn't look like it has any on-site parking unless it's in the back.
Yeah, I want to get a Let me see if I can look at the above view, and it's 44714.
And it doesn't look like there's much access from the alley either. I mean, you could potentially, well, here's a gate. Not a really well-made gate, but a gate nonetheless. So you could make this an entrance. You could install one of those sliding.
Like a metal gate.
Yeah, and then make this your garage into your house. That's possible. And that looks like your neighbor's backyard.
Yeah.
I think the property line on this one stops about right here on this corner. So, street parking, or like I say, clear all this stuff out, and make that your parking.
Yeah.
So let's go back to privy. I don't want to look at that anymore. So there's no ifs. Why is it not popping out like I wanted to? Down too far, that's why. Here's what I'm seeing just from what's being shown. 315. This one sold 2 units, a little further away. So these are the two that you would probably be your best comps. Now this one sold at 725. Why is that one so much nicer? Oh, look, that's why. Because it's one, not the same property.
That's like an apartment.
Yeah. So in this case, this would be your best, only in best sell. What does this say for comps? I wonder. Because I will say sometimes nearby comparable houses. I don't think these are comps though. Let's see. 4-bedroom, 2-bath. How many units does it have? Single family. So no, it's not a comp. See, this is what drives me nuts about these type of, when you're trying to use like Zillow or Redfin. It literally tells you it's a single family property, while these are classified as multifamily. How are they the same? They're not comps. You cannot comp this like you do a multifamily. Just can't. They're not the same. That's apples and oranges in comparison. So, which goes back to what I said, where you're at 315, and if 315 is the top of the market,
It's the only market. What are you talking about?
Well, is top of the market, meaning that's the most you're going to be able to sell this house for if you were to fix it and sell it.
Right.
Let's say you maybe get 350.
So we're at like,
if you updated it and everything, right? But that's a big
update.
ask. And that's why I was going through here, and so you have a lot of demo that needs to be done. Flooring, like I would take this out, right?
Yeah.
New kitchen, new bathrooms, for sure. This is where it comes to personal choice, or just how much you get you're able to negotiate, because this would be a waste to me right now. This would be a waste of putting
space.
money into it, because if you add this into your budget, I mean, you'd
It's
probably have
gonna,
this.
yeah,
Right.
it's gonna take too much money.
Right.
I would rather
However,
just,
it may be just easier to tear it down,
yeah,
right? So it's not an eyesore.
yeah,
So
put
I
a
would probably
little
budget for that because, I mean,
and make that the parking area.
sure, so
I
somebody
mean,
down or something, you know?
I could just, yeah, leave that for the next owner. Just take it down and just leave it open and they can buy their own carport or whatever.
Exactly. But I don't think there's any pictures inside those, is there? I mean, you could budget for exterior paint just to kind of freshen it up a little bit. But I would say at least let's go back to our napkin comping, right? So we're saying that a square foot a lot. We don't want a square foot a lot. We want, what is the square foot of each house? Didn't it say in here? So we got 1211 plus 435 plus 288. So we'll call that 1934. We'll say that seems like a really, I don't know what contractor fees are, so let's just kind of go a little high. That would be my budget for that place, estimated. To like,
Okay, that's for the rehab.
yeah. But
Okay.
again, I don't know, because you don't want to over improve it, right?
Right.
But there's flooring and stuff. I mean, you could maybe break that down. You have to remember this 135 is technically 3 units because you're doing the main house and then the 2. Well, technically 3 in the back, right? Because you have that. We have the one. Let's see.
I can't tell if that 2-bedroom, 1 bath is like 2 separate bedrooms with a shared, you know what I mean? Like 2 separate units that just share a bathroom, or if it's a 2-bed, 1 bath unit. You know what I mean?
I think this may be a 2-bedroom, 1 bath unit because I
Because
don't
there's
see
a
a
2.
handle right here. So this may just be a door that's that may be walled off. It looks like a door on the outside, but it may not be a door on the inside. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Like, this could
okay.
be the only door to get in and out because, again, I don't see a handle, but it doesn't mean there isn't one. And then this could be, like I said, the other. What do we say? The 1-1, right? So you're technically fixing 3 houses for 135. Do some landscaping with that. And like I said, I could be overdoing it. I don't know. I mean, everything to me, California is expensive.
It is. I mean, and I'd say 70 to 75 an hour is about right. I mean,
Well,
his
this is
his
square foot. This is $50 per square foot for a contractor.
okay.
So I mean, because this is not a light job. This is, I mean,
No. No. With
um,
all that mold and
right. So that's why I went to 70 because you probably may need to do some mold mediation on it.
yeah,
And that service is not cheap. You know what I mean? So
I've never dealt with that before, but I imagine it's not cheap. I mean, being around mold is a health risk, so
right.
it should be
You want it to be
compensated for. Yeah.
exactly. So we'll kind of call it in the middle, right? So this is 9, let's say we'll call this 96. The other one's 135. Was that 4, 39, 40, 20? So we'll call it 106, right? For a total. So from 106, I mean, and we haven't even accounted for agent fees or closing costs, right?
Right.
So you're at 315 at the top of the market. Let's be nice and we'll give, what is that? 65 for updating the house or all of the houses, right? If you use just subtracting the rehab, you're at 269. And then from, and this is your top, then you got to include or account for whatchamacallit,
Closing costs and stuff.
closing costs and agent fees, right? So let's just subtract, let's say, another overcompensating. Okay, so there's not exact science, but we'll just call it 26 instead of 27. I mean, you're at 243. That would be the top that I would offer on this house. And that's giving them, or, pushing the market to 375 and not 315.
Okay. I mean, that's more than I thought. I thought I was
I
going to
would
be
probably,
in the...
honestly, I would, for comfort,
The number I got was 220 using Jerry Norton's little formula.
sure. I mean, I would probably be closer to that. 178, 175.
178.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's supposed to be my max? Or just a starting point?
Well, again, we're assuming that we can get 375 if it's all fixed up, right? So
375?
yeah, I mean, that's just guessing. That's me just throwing something against the wall and see if it sticks. To be honest with you. But let's
Okay.
see here.
Because I did use the 315 number.
You can get for the front house probably 1,500. Oh, so 3.2. Let's see here.
For the front house.
Front house,
Yeah.
you could probably get 2,200. We're doing more than comping here. We're comping and kind of underwriting at the same time.
You said 2,200 for the 3-bed?
For a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay, and then we have a 2-1 and a 1-1.
Let's see if we can find something that's smaller. That one is...
It's only like 300? No.
435.
435.
There's really nothing that small. 850, right? This is 806. I mean, this is recent, as of almost 13 days ago. A little bit bigger, 2-1. So, I mean, maybe 1,800. But that sounds crazy that you can get 1,800 for a 2-1, but only get...
Not out here. I think when I was... Yeah, I'm in Lancaster. This is like probably one of the shittiest places you can live in America, and it's that expensive.
Yeah.
Because it's California. So, I mean, we're an hour and a half away from the beach and an hour away from the mountains. So, if you're one of those people where you like to have access to both, it could be a good location, but you either have to have a remote job or work at Northrop or the base or Edison, and that's it. There's like every other job is, Walmart or Starbucks or.
Well, let me ask you this: what would you want to do with this property? Would you want to get it at a good price and wholesale it, or is this something that you would want you and your husband to work on as a fix and flip, and then have
I
it as
mean, it depends on what's more profitable, really. I mean, if this is something you think I mean, one, I have to see if the seller would even take that, right? I
absolutely?
guess
But I
nothing
mean,
else.
you have to. I don't say brainstorm, but brainstorm, right? You have to decide what your exit strategies would be if you were to get this under contract. So let's just say, for sake of argument, that you went in and you got it for, let's say, 200, because you said Jerry's had to at 220, right?
Right.
So we'll just call it 200. Um, and we're saying potentially three. I don't know. I was saying 375, but I'm trying to see how you would justify that to a wholesaler or to an end buyer. I mean, you could probably sell 350, saying that it has modern updates. So now if you decide to wholesale it, now you're at 150 spread, which gives them a little bit of wiggle room, right? Cost would be 106 just to um,
135 to rehab.
right. But remember, we split it between 96 and 135, so we called it 106. Remember, I did a 50 times 50 square feet, and I did a $70 per square foot.
Okay. I see what you, okay.
You can redo it if you
I
want.
do. No. I remember you doing that. I'm sorry. Just bear
No,
with me.
you're fine.
It takes me a while to connect the dots
No,
sometimes.
that's why I'm asking to make sure you remember.
Thank you.
So if you add that to the price, which is 200, if we even if we just say it's 100, that's 300. And if we're saying that it's worth 350 after he or she fixes it up, I mean, there's no equity.
Right.
You see what I mean? I mean, they could do it cheaper, but I mean, any less than 100, I think you would be only working on the front house. You're not working on the other two. And since we don't know what their condition, I can only assume they're in the same condition as the main house, if not worse.
Yeah. I'm guessing worse. I mean, I need to call the realtor and ask what that picture is from of the ceiling
Sure.
with the mold or whatever that is.
If I had to venture a guess, it would be from the 2-1 because
Okay.
it had the same color paint in there.
Oh, okay.
But as an investor, I would look at this as a cash flow property, right?
Right.
So my first strategy would be buy and hold, rent each unit out, which is why I'd probably want to maximize my rehab budget to make sure that they're rentable and safe environment, meaning taking all that debris out. So
Right.
you're talking about, like I said, probably 100 to 106 easy on the rehab. So you have to be under 200 just to make it even worth somebody's while. I'll go back to using my handy dandy, maybe if I can. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna look up the
All right. Calculator. So what do we know right now?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to look up this realtor's information. But what I have, okay, so 350 ARV, 105 rehab, as far as numbers go. I'm gonna offer
right now, I wouldn't offer 2. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Let's just call it.
Let me do this with the new numbers.
12, 16, 17, 18. Call it 1934. And this calculator really isn't the best one because technically this is multifamily, not single family. So,
I never even thought about that. If that like formula I was using, if that would apply to a multifamily or not. That's a good point.
honestly, it would not.
Okay.
Multifamily is different in the fact that usually multifamily is based off of
Rental income.
Yeah, based instead of the market. However, anything under 4 is not considered commercial. So you kind of have to.
There's a
gray area. That makes any sense.
yeah.
I know that doesn't really help much, but
No, I see why you came up with that idea to use 2 different numbers earlier to come up with a median rehab number.
right.
Because the same thing, like we could maybe do one if it was commercial and do one if it was single family, and then find the middle ground between those 2 numbers to try to close in on a more accurate number.
So I'm doing this because I want to show you if we were to come in here and offer 200, right? And now, mind you, this is off of an $80,000 or $79,000 budget. You lose $18,000.
Okay.
See what I mean?
So if we go
if I do this, because we're saying, let's just make it 100 for easy numbers here. Nope, I didn't want to do this. Not negative, I want to add it.
It would be great if the rehab estimate was negative numbers. I'd love to get paid for doing nothing, right?
Right. So with these numbers, now mind you, this is holding it for 6 months. These are the, all the utilities and stuff, and this is on a 90/90. And we could potentially have something similar to that where it's 100% rehab cover, but they say 100%, but it really isn't. It's a play on words and numbers. So that being said,
So I could offer between 150 and 180.
let's see what 180 gives you. No.
150 and 175. 150 and 170. Okay.
Yeah, even then, now mind you, 28 sounds like a good profit.
But it's not if something goes wrong and when I'm paying
right,
those fees.
it's not a big profit, and you're spending and you're doing $100K worth of work. And I'm not sure you're paying attention to this, but this is how much money you would need, basically, from a not hard money lender, a private money lender to carry the project until you close it.
Oh. I still don't totally understand what gap funds even are.
So gap funds would be basically whatever down payment and closing costs you have, right? Which is like agent fees, title, insurance, all that kind of stuff. But it also includes paying property
Holding costs.
taxes, utilities, insurance. Right, love you. What you call it? So you're basically gonna be spending that kind of money a month, and that's interest only.
Wait, where's that monthly number? Like a total monthly number?
Right here,
$5,000 a month.
$4,500 a month. Yep, that would be interest only payments.
Did you create this spreadsheet yourself?
No, I paid somebody some good money for this.
Can I ask how much you paid for that?
Well, the mentorship cost me roughly $20K.
For Owners Club?
No, this is outside Owners Club.
Oh, damn, dude. Okay. So it came with that. Got
Yes.
it.
But you see what I'm saying? This is a great profit, but you got to keep in mind you're also having to find somebody or another lender to come with that kind of money. And you have to, I would almost have to be there to make it worth your while.
150?
You can manipulate the numbers and all that kind of stuff because a lot of it comes from down here. That number should have gone down, actually. Why did it go up? So you estimated 24.5 for closing costs. Why did that go up? That was 34, wasn't it?
So I can't buy this spreadsheet from you?
Nope. You gotta keep working with me to get it.
That's fine. I enjoy working with you. I just feel bad for like bothering you all the time.
No, that's good.
I know you have such a full plate, so it's that it's I feel like it's been a couple months now and I'm like, "Oh my God, I still haven't gotten something done." I
Trust me, I would tell you if it was interfering with what I got going on.
well, yeah, I trust that you manage your stuff that it wouldn't even get to that point. You would just tell me you didn't have the time and I'd be like, "Okay,
there you
we'll
go.
connect another time." And that would be it, right?
Right.
But yeah, absolutely.
So
If anything ever bothered you, I'd want you to tell me.
I would definitely tell you.
Thank you.
So going back to comping, we started off comping and then we kind of drifted into underwriting because I don't know how to just stop at comping.
Well, I mean, it's yeah, we kind of need to underwrite it to understand what to offer, and
Right.
because it's such a unique property, but it needs so much help. So, I mean, that's a necessary part of the process. And, if anybody else watches this, they're going to need to know that that's the next part of the process,
Exactly.
So, yeah.
As you can see, according to Privy, it's been on the market for almost a year now. What does Redfin say? 237. So it's the same amount of days. a lot of days on market. Although it is a multifamily, so maybe because it's not just a single family home, it's on there, but the condition is what's killing it.
Yeah.
And you may have, let's do one extra step, which I do in my underwriting that some people don't, because it's not necessarily a required step, but this is where I go to see if it's worth maybe trying to do a seller finance deal. Or to try to understand why they're trying to ask for 450. This thing is paid off. This thing is paid off. They're just asking. They're just trying to get paid. And this was this was financed for $82K way back in
Mm-hmm.
So this is potentially a free and clear property. So shoot, I'd offer them 150. And if they don't like it, I'd keep walking.
Okay.
I wouldn't even try to go up. I mean, it's just not enough meat on the bone for that.
Right. For how much work it's going to require and time.
Right.
That's going to be my sole focus, basically, until we leave. So, yeah, that makes sense.
And at 150, you could potentially get 100% finance
Financing.
from at will. So then you don't have to worry about trying to find a private money lender. Everything would be basically wrapped into the loan.
Oh, that would be great. I would certainly love some simplicity for during my first deal.
Yeah, I mean, you'd still have to pay the monthly payments, of course, but I mean,
Yeah. Well, I have to partner with somebody. So that could be you, or that could be this other guy, Chris, that has said he's down to partner up.
well, first things
At,
first. Let's see if they're even open to the 150. Like I said, I would say that's my highest and best is 150 to the agent. And if they're like, no, or that's an insult, well, then they're like, fine. I
yeah.
wouldn't even want to negotiate on this because it's just too much work to be done, and there's no point of trying to negotiate because they're like it's on the market for 450, and yeah, and that's the reason why it's been on the market for 267 days. It's not worth 450.
Yeah. That's like what my mother-in-law's house is worth, and it's in really nice condition. I mean, it needs to be updated, but it's in really nice condition.
Just
So,
tell them there's a multifamily within half a mile that sold this month 2 weeks ago at 315.
mm-hmm.
So there's no justification for 450. You could not be mean about it and say, if you think it's worth 450, show me the comps that you're using that are within half a mile and 6 months that justify
Right.
it. And if you can do that, I'll adjust my offer.
Okay.
I can almost guarantee you he won't be able to do it. Every agent that I've done that to, they've sent me
They don't-
something, but it wasn't the same. It would be like that one that we just saw where it looked like an apartment complex.
Right. It's like
And they're going to
something
say, see, look
sold.
at this one. This one sold for 875. I'm like, no, that's not the same.
No,
You know what I
no.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, and that's like one of the big things I learned with you going over these things with me is that I was just looking at any houses in the area that had, maybe like the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, but I wasn't looking at like the style of the house and the positioning of the house and where in the neighborhood the house was and, stuff like that, like all these different factors that really make a big difference. You
If you want to be accurate in your comping.
Yeah, which I do, because if you comp wrong, I mean, even if you comp right, things could go wrong, right? But if you comp wrong, you're like guaranteeing
Absolutely.
yourself a really hard time in life. And I would really rather not sign up for that kind of scene. So, yeah.
Two things with comping wrong. Number one, if you're a wholesaler and you don't know how to comp and you try to present this deal to an experienced investor, they're not going to take you seriously because your numbers don't work. That's number one. Number two, if you try to present this to a hard money lender or a private money lender, they're not going to lend on the deal because they can't justify your after repair value. Right? So if you say it's going to be worth 450 and they hire somebody to do an after repair value appraisal and it comes in at 315, that's a big difference to come back at, right? It's better to be conservative in your numbers and let them come out higher than you than for you to say that it's worth 450 and then it comes back only being worth 300, right? Because now the numbers don't work because you ran all your numbers off 450 and the lender is saying 315 is the best this thing would ever be worth. Now, that being said, if you're all in at, let's see, if we got it at 150, you put 100, that's 250 in. 1% rule would be 2,500 for rent. You're getting probably $2,000 just for the front house. So by the front house, the 2-1, I mean, you're cash flowing probably a good 1,000, maybe even 2,000 with the studio.
I might know. Well, I have a family friend who has a friend that does rentals in the area. Like maybe
Okay.
we could. Well, at first we need to see if they would even take it, which they probably won't if it's been sitting that long at that price.
Uh-huh.
You want me to call her right now while you're here?
Sure.
Okay.